We are about to start. This is Robot News. Now let's hear it for the man, the myth, and the legend in his own head, Eric Nuke Hudson.
Hey, it's Nuke Albert. So I'm hoping someone missed me last week. Just hoping. So I apologize for not being on last week. What happened is the information was entered incorrectly. So I start up my routine, getting ready to put out some great content for you guys, and it was like, couldn't do anything. But I'm here this week. It's probably going to be even better because we're going to see where the market is. It's the 30th of the month. So we know we have like 99% of the transactions in, more like about 95. We're going to find out what this market is doing. Then we'll start going over some other little stuff. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. I'm going to keep it to Southern Nevada for right now, just to match what these guys have, so we can kind of match it because they use all of Nevada, not just Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson, even though that's the majority of the market. So just look out here. So right now we have 947 condos that are available. Townhouses, we have 465. The combination of the two is 1242. Let's see how we ended that month there. We actually have 6 fewer, if I'm doing math in public right. Single family homes, we are looking at 4,062. That's actually coming up, I think. Let's see here. Oh yeah, look at that. Went from 3476 to 4062. So we have more inventory going on right now. And why not? Manufactured homes 206. They don't track that. Let's go ahead and see what has gone under contract so far this month. Kind of see where the market is. So, bam. 81 sold for manufactured, but we're not going to look at that. So condos, it was 332, 279 for townhouses, and because they combine it, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the combined here and look at these stats. Let's see, 297 compared to oh my goodness, that's like a 3% increase over the month. $7,000 increase. Wow, that is amazing. So median is 297. I'm not going to worry about the average. Had a $1.5 million sale. 19 is the median days on average. 35 is the average. So if you're trying to sell right now and you're looking at a new home or a new condo or townhome, keep these in mind. So they always say the median is the most accurate predictor, because you can have, so like this 35 here, that is counted in it because it's an average. So, wow, 19 days. I think that has slowed down a little bit. So the market is slowing. Believe it or not, even with this high price. Also to keep in mind, the median list price was 300 and median sold was 297. So people right now are still not paying the list price. I'm going to talk about this for just a second. There are agents in this town who play this little game. And the game is, I want to look good. So what they do is, let's say the house comes up and it's been, let's say the house, we'll just make this up. We're using this 300,000. We started at 310. Well, it was too much. So they lowered 305. It sells, but it sells for 297. Some agents will then, right before they record it into the MLS, will take that sucker. You ready for this? And they'll put it into something like 295. And the purpose of this is so when they go down, they sit down with you as a seller and they go, this is the reason I should be your agent. I sell houses for more than the average. And this 300,000 here, that's the final list price that's shown in the MLS, not what they started with. Keep that in mind. Okay, let's go on to single family homes. So 2,106 have sold so far. Remember, they still have a few days to put stuff in. We're almost at the end. By Monday, we'll have like really, really, really solid numbers. But for now, I'm going to say these are probably the 99 percentile. So 2106 compared to, oh my goodness. Let me look at this. This is the 30 days. Single family, 2106 compared to 3476. I can't wait to see this price. Oh my goodness, what is the price? It went up again. That's right, folks. It went up again. So we're looking at 471,500 from Nevada. Oh my goodness, look at that average, man. That is a huge split. So wow. Look at that. I mean, it's like 1,300 fewer homes sold. 1,300 fewer homes sold, yet the price went up. Wow. That's amazing. Let's try to do something here. Let me share this back for a sec. Let's go in here. Let's look at some numbers real quick. I'm going to do all of them. Let's start figuring some stuff out here. So let's see. Of all of these, Southern Nevada, you know what? I just like to keep this at Vegas. So Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson. I mean, it's only like 100 difference or something like that. It's not a big deal. Okay, so of those, we got 2,575 that sold. Let's do this. I've had questions about SIDS and LIDs. Of those, only 184 had SIDS or LIDs. Associations, aka an HOA. 2,036 of them had an HOA. Let's see how many were vacant. 1,410. That's actually a good bit were vacant. I'll tell you right now, if your property can be vacant and you do some little things to it like virtual staging, it's going to sell well. Let's see. That's a good one to look up. Okay, how many were on septic? 40 out of 2,575. That's interesting. How many had a well? We have to do both community and private. 43. And guess what? That's a close number. So those probably were private well. I mean, the well. Well, let's see how many were private. Oh, wow. A lot of them were on community wells. Let's see. Wow. Okay. That was let's see, community well plus septic. Whoops. Huh, interesting. I figured that number would have been closer together. Let's see here. Financing, cash. How many of these were cash? But I have to bring out the calculator. And that doesn't, why did that show? Oh, no, that's financing considered. Never mind. How many were horse properties? 19. I actually would have expected more. Let's see. I want a house with a big yard. Quarter acre to an acre. 184 out of the 2575. You'll really get this from people like from the Midwest, like my house back in Kansas when I was at McConnell Air Force Base. That sucker was like almost half an acre. It was acreage. You normally don't have acreage here. Now, some parts of town have some good acreage on them, but if you go moving to Summerlin or someplace like that, even if you're buying yourself $1 million home, you're not going to get that much. Let's see, actually, I think single story is up here. Where is single story? Single story, 1130 out of the 2775. Three-story, 59. I've actually had a three-story house before. Go down and goodness, what's that place? It's down in the Southwest. Speaking of which, I got some videos coming out on the Southwest. So the ones that sold, 679 were cash. Let's do the math in public here. 679 divided by 2575. 26%. I think the last time I did this, it was 25, so it's actually going up just a slight amount. Let's see here. What are we about at? FHA 421. I'm sorry, 451. So that makes up 17.5% of the market. And VA. I didn't even do conventional. That makes me feel bad. Okay, I'm going to go back to conventional, but it's going to be the majority of the market. VA was 206. 8% of the market on the dot. Matter of fact, I was in a class today on assumptions, and I'll talk about it in a second here. And it was like, well, two military bases here. You should have a whole bunch of VA loans. I'm like, no, it's about 8% of the market. So, but I don't know if you take it out the cash and then do it. I don't know, maybe it's about 12% of the market or something. So conventional loans, 1175. So we're looking at 45.6% of the market were conventional loans. It's usually going to be that way. Now let's see. Who has a basement? Basements, 7. Basements are very rare here, and it has to do with the soil. It's very, you'll see like the pools here are not very deep, except for in some parts of town. It's the stuff they call caliche. And yeah, like deep diving pools, you'll only see in certain parts of town. And I don't even think they allow you to dig them that deep anymore, even if you don't have the caliche. So because of that, we don't have basements. Technically, you can still dig through it. It's just going to become very, very expensive. And pretty much the sides of towns with the like 12-foot deep pools and stuff are usually the ones that have basements because it's not that hard to dig out. So yeah, takes care of that. Oh, let's see how many had pools. So of the 2575, let me make sure I'm sharing here. 511 had pools. Now, if you're looking at 2-story homes, and let's do 3-story too. How many of them had a bedroom downstairs? 630. So actually, about half the homes, roughly about 45%, have bedrooms downstairs. Baths downstairs, which hopefully should coincide with bedrooms downstairs. No, because you're going to have half baths. Okay, I buy that. See here. Repos and REOs, we've discussed this 1,000 times. There have only been 15 out of 2,575. So I don't think that's coming back anytime soon. Well, actually, you know what? Let me talk on it for a second. There is a theory that pretty soon we may have foreclosures again if you're in the market for foreclosures. And the reason they think there's going to be foreclosures coming up has to do with a lot of people, when COVID happened, they started, doing these modifications and stuff, and they haven't been paying their mortgage for the last couple of years. So even when they got back on their feet, they were like, hey, nothing. And now they've gotten so far behind, it's believed a lot of them are going to end up in foreclosure. So keep an eye out for that. It may or may not happen. I'll keep my eye out for it. And next is going to be our short sales. There are only 6 of them. I don't know if we'll have a short sale kind of an issue, purely because, see, here's what may happen with a lot of the repos and REOs, same thing. People like to stick their heads in the sand, and they get the notices, but they got equity. And if you let your house go into foreclosure, all you're doing is letting someone else take your equity. A short sale, they actually have no equity. So right now, you can see there are not that many of them. As a matter of fact, let's take a look to see what are we getting for short sales. Wow. Okay. So let's look at this single family here. That's 365. That is a nice looking house. I can't believe they let this go. There's got to be something more here, because you shouldn't have let something like that go for, 365. Let's look at this 760 house. Pool and everything. Man, this agent came here, did some good pictures. That's nice. So I don't know how much this person owed, but they just had to let it go. So you can see we don't have too many short sales. Matter of fact, what would be interesting? Interesting is to go back for the entire year and see how many short sales we've had so far this year. So far, okay. Short sales. And I see a mistake I made. I did not put in the townhomes and condos also. So far, for the entire year, we've had 39 short sales. As far as the repos, for the entire year, we've had 124. We take that out. We just go see how many sales we've had for the entire year. Okay, and we have had 12,755 sales. So those believing you're going to be able to get a repo real soon, I hate to be the one to tell you, it's probably not happening. Okay, so on to the news. Keep this brief for you tonight, possibly. CFPB, Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. These are the guys who were created after the disaster we had in 2008. Well, certain forces have been wanting these people closed down as soon as possible because they feel, hey, you're not letting us go out there and grift and everything. Well, the Supreme Court has ruled that they are constitutional, and it was a 7-2 ruling. And here's the argument that was used. So veterans have saved your butt. It was argued that taking away the CFPB would harm veterans, and that was the argument that was used in front of the Supreme Court. So it saved every one of you. And speaking of veterans, I put this video out, and I got another video hopefully coming out in the next day or two to answer questions I've had on the first video. And it's about what's going on. The VA has changed a very long-standing policy, and it's in response to the settlement by the National Association of Realtors. Because here's what happens. The rules prior to this week said that a veteran was not allowed to pay a real estate commission or fees. Well, the new agreement that the National Association of Realtors came up with is as silly as can be. The seller no longer pays the buyer's agent. But here's why it's silly. The seller can give the money to the buyer, and the buyer can pay their agent. Well, even though the money was given to the buyer, because of those rules, they couldn't pay their agent. So that's why it was silly. In the end, you see where I'm going on this. So Bacon got saved for the veterans, and veterans also saved the rest of the country. Not really veterans, but the argument they used about veterans saved everyone on that. Next. Questions asked before viewing a property. I want to go through this one. Let's see here. Oh, anything included in the sale? Here's the thing. If they're leaving it behind, you cannot put it into the MLS or put it on the contract. It has to be separate. But you can, of course, ask that. This is going to be interesting. I didn't even start at the beginning. I did this again because I'd been looking at it and then saved it. I guess the link goes to where. So how long has the property been on the market? This is one I talk about all the time. I know a lot of sellers want to go, I want to see if I can get this amount. You need to adjust quickly because the buyers don't see that you started too high. What they see is the house has been on the market for 45 days and every other house is sold in 2 weeks. So that is a viable one, and you can ask that. Even your realtor can answer it. How long has the current owners lived there, and why are they moving? That's a hard one. Is it really your business why they're moving? How old is the property? Of course, you want to know that. How much are the bills? What's really great, this is an open record state. All you have to do is call NV Energy or any of the other utilities and go, I am looking to buy 123 Main Street. What were the bills average for the last 12 months? And believe it or not, they'll tell you. There's actually a special line to call. What are the neighbors like? Do this during due diligence. You can ask around. Is there parking at the property? This is a pet peeve of mine. Some of these houses around here don't have parking in front, and you got a little parking thing like a half a block or block away. So when you have an event or party or something or family coming over, they got to hustle to find some places. I've shown houses where I've had to do some massive hustling just to find some place. Any recent repairs or refurbishments? Of course, you want to know that one. Energy efficiency of the property. That's going to be hard to see. Probably tell it from the bills. We just talked about that one. This is a zoning thing, and you can look this up and see what is in the planning commission stuff. But before you're looking buy a house, that's going to be hard to get your hands on. Anything else you should know about the property? Just ask it. What security features are there? It should be in the SRPD. What conditions the HVAC in? Oh man, this is a big one because I talked about a lot of transactions have been canceling lately for me, and one of the number one reasons, HVAC, the air conditioner system, because we are at the end of a life of a lot of ACs out there, and the sellers don't want to replace them or fix them or anything else. And we're talking, we got like R22 systems out there, and that's a big problem because the buyers are starting to see that, and it's like, ooh, do I have to worry about that? And R22 is like $200 a pound, and the new system is I'm going to use quotes. The new system, newer system is 410A. What no one's talking about is the 410A is being phased out, and no unit with 410A can be manufactured after January 1st of 2025. End of the year, first of the year, whatever you want to call it, they can't be manufactured anymore. The new system is called R32. Yeah, here's the problem. An R32 air conditioner is about 40% more expensive than a 410A air conditioner. So that can end up costing you a lot of money. We don't have boilers here. Oops. Accessibility, of course, if you need to add that, you can, and there's special programs out there. If you're a disabled vet, you can get that. Surrounding area, drive around. Hopefully you're going to be able to see the interior, and you'll be able to figure that out. So some of these things, I think it's kind of like after I retired, there was a guy in my squadron. His wife wrote for Kiplinger's magazine, and I'm like, oh yeah, because I used to be a big time reader of Kiplinger's. And I asked her how she did stuff, and it's like they just go and do some quick research. They pretty much dash this stuff together. I was about to say something else. In all reality, they're probably just doing it with Chat GPT now. So most of the newer homes are going to have double pane windows. Look around for that. Older houses, you may have an issue with the sockets. Natural light, make sure you're looking at the house at a good time of the day. This is why I say never look at a house at night. Do that during your inspection. So I think a lot of stuff's just made up, Water pressure, turn on the water. Your inspector is going to do that too. What's crime rate in the local area? Crimegrades.org. How far is the property from local amenities? Google Maps. And what's the broadband cell phone coverage? Believe it or not, I haven't done it as much as I should have, but when I'm doing tours of areas now, along with Walk Score and the AARP livability score, I've been trying to put in cell phone coverage because it's a big deal. You end up buying a house and then boom, you got AT&T, you bought an iPhone 15 from them, and you got 2 years on the iPhone 15, and bam, you're now in some place that doesn't have good coverage for AT&T. So look at that. I'll try to get that into a future video. No, actually, I've already done a video on that. Go try to find it, where it went over stuff like cell phone coverage and everything. And if you have a doubt, get a second opinion. Okay. I'm going to try to end this one with a kind of a fun note. We'll see it here. So I've been messing around with a lot of AI lately. And now I'm writing songs using AI. And I'm thinking about adding them to my, I'm trying to find one I want to play. Adding them to a lot of the stuff I'm doing for these videos. And oh, I got probably we'll do it this way. I just want your opinion. Would you like to listen to the songs I've written with AI? Here's just one of them. And then give me your opinion if you want me to start adding these to my videos.
I bought a pad in Vegas, baby, right in the heart where bright lights are. Listen to me, good deals ain't just a gamble. Found a jackpot in my hood. The way my new Jeep turns a lock feels just like freedom should. She welcomes me with open doors, not like Cali used to do.
Okay. So that's pretty much it there. Answer down below if you think I should start including these. I want to do like my intros and stuff using some AI generated music. Because if you saw my video on the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, because I added in on it because I have beef with Drake. He almost took down my channel by copyright striking stuff that he didn't even own. And I know it was Universal Music Group, and they were all bent out of shape and everything because somebody had created a song using an AI version of his voice. But you know, whatever. You don't just go destroying people like that. So if you have any questions, you know what to do. Call, text, email. Better get on my calendar. That way I'm not in a class or talking to class or something like that. You know you're going to have my undivided attention. It doesn't matter if it's 9 or 90 days from now or a year from now. Go ahead and reach out. There's so many important things we have to talk about. And I want to really help you guys out. And of course, my military brothers and sisters, Alpha Mike Foxtrot. To everyone else, I'm here to help you just as well. We're going to keep them lights on for you. See y'all.